Let's start. Have to tell your crush your most embarrassing story, or have to stand in a Subway naked for 1 hour. Easy, easy. A. I choose to believe it's Subway the sandwich shop and they're just like throwing cucumbers to cover you. If it's like a Subway with a train, I'm not entirely sure what lives in a Subway. Yeah, that's a problem and nobody wants that. And the entire human population except for 16%. Well, that went by so fast. We have change your skin color based on your emotions forever, or wake up every morning with a randomly different face for a year. And I think this is another clear one. If you wake up every morning with a randomly different face, think of the opportunities that can bring. You could be robbing banks. You could be going after your worst enemy and causing them inconveniences and annoyances. And then the next day it doesn't matter because you got a new face. If people know it's still you, even though you have a different face, struggle. The skin color changing on your emotions. I am a shady person. And by shady, I mean I'm an emotional creature. I would first of all be a disco ball. Everybody, their eyes would burn off. But then also, I'm so exposed at that point. The poll is saying A. I personally am saying B, but I am going with the most popular opinion and we want A. Oh, you guys were right. Okay, I'll take the L on that one. I'll roll that one back. This one, now can somebody help my dumb Canadian mind? What is miles per hour in kilometers? Is that 100 kilometers an hour? Because if that's the case, that's just death. Whereas if you're falling down a stair, you might scrape your knee, you might dislocate your shoulder, but overall, maybe you survive. I feel like chance of survival is quite a bit higher. Yeah, close to 100 kilometers an hour, says Razorback. Like at that point, you're gonna hit the ground and turn into spaghetti. I meant confetti, but spaghetti works too. You're just exploding. Look, there's not even a question in it. Falling down the flight of stairs would be for the best, I think. Look, see? I was expecting more of a difference there. So we're either finding out the meaning of life or finding out all the government's top secrets. Maybe this is just me thinking in black and white, but surely the meaning of life has to be more important. The government, maybe they're hiding an alien. Maybe they've got little ET, maybe they've got some flying saucers, flying sausages. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. And frankly, I'm okay with that. My life is unchanged. And also, if you find out all the government's top secrets, what are you gonna do with that information? Because if you tell somebody A, they're not even gonna believe you, but B, if you do, then you've got a target on your back. And the government's like, that one, get 'em boys, and the FBI's coming and they're dragging you away, and now you're the alien in the FBI place and you guys are hanging out and you're best friends. But in that scenario, you did get a best friend. So there are perks to that. But meaning of life? You guys are saying find out all the government's top secrets. What do you wanna know? Holly Cherry Cat says the meaning of life is useless. But I feel like we don't know that. But I mean, maybe the meaning of life is just to live. I guess maybe I see where you guys are coming from. Razorback says you can sell government secrets to other countries for big cash. But again, doesn't that put you on a list? I suppose if you're in America, you could like move to Canada and then start spreading the secrets. That might be the game plan. So you know what? I guess I'll go with you guys, but I've got a good feeling that the majority of humans are gonna pick the same as me. I was wildly wrong. I actually didn't say that. You guys are all hallucinating and I'm gaslighting the chat. Okay, would you rather be the richest person in the world and live your intended lifetime? Okay. Be poor and live forever. I would be rich and live for your intended lifetime. It would be, I feel like, a curse to live forever. I think that one's a no-brainer. Some freaking ding-dong made this one. We're gonna go with the clear answer. Clean. Have to scream as loud as you can before starting every conversation, I am a leprechaun. Or have to smack every person you have a conversation with and call them an idiot. If you're just screaming it at the start of a conversation, I'm a leprechaun, that's not affecting the person. You know, you're saying it, maybe you're like, that's pretty loud in my ears. Overall, it's a one and done. To smack somebody every time you have a conversation with them, I would not want to hang out with a person who smacked me every time they start a conversation. You're losing friends, you're losing loved ones, you're losing coworkers. God forbid, you're talking to your pet. No friends. The poll is split 50-50. You guys, that is whack. There's no way 50% of you want to smack people around. I'm a leprechaun, that's like, it's dumb, it's silly, but really out of everything you could scream, it's not that offensive. And I mean, hey, around St. Patrick's Day, you're so festive. Everybody's like, wow, look at that person. What a fun person to be around. Thank God they're not smacking me. It's a close one. We're gonna go with this one because that is the correct answer. Even this one was close. Holy moly. We've got be abducted by an alien or be thrown in jail for a crime you did not commit. We're on an alien theme because earlier we were talking about aliens and hopefully we made a good rapport with the alien up until then. And it's the same alien that we met in Area 51. And they're going to show us mercy, show us justice, and be friendly. Being abducted by an alien, you don't know what they're gonna do. They could be a kind alien. They could make you a little treat, a little snack, and be like, you know what? We just think that you're cool and we just think that you're you're an interesting critter and we want to look at you. And you'd be like, thank you. Thank you. That is the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. Thank you. But then the other one, what's the severity of the crime? You'll go so mad trying to be like, no, like really didn't do it. You know, it's a little bit far, it's a little bit skewed towards the alien. So I think we're gonna go with that. Live to be 400 and look 400 for your entire life. Live to be 80 and look 25 for your life. Come on, would you rather? Let's stop throwing us some softballs here. If you're looking like you're 400, you are literally dust. If they said, oh, you like look like you're 90, okay. But at 400 years old, you are not even anywhere near being any semblance of a human. You're nothing. No offense to the 400-year-olds out there in the chat. After 80, you know, me personally, maybe I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've lived my life. Plus I know that the cap is 80, so I'm gonna make sure that the bucket list is done by 79.9. I think it's gonna be B. That one's another easy one. Immune from all laws within your country or be president of your country. Come on. Who wants to be the president? Nobody. There's so much pressure to run the country and people hate on you. You gotta make tough choices. I go to the grocery store, I cannot pick between Triscuits and vegetable thins. It's a problem. It would just be a disaster. But being immune from all the laws, could I like walk into the bank and just be like, excuse me, put all the money into my pocket? And they'd be like, well, okay, you're immune. You're the purge all the time. It's gotta be A. So be immune. Know the exact time, oh my God, when each of your family members will die, or save a group of children from death and give them their intended lifetime. Fam, pause. Nobody vote. No, okay. There's perks to the first one, but you also have that pressure. Do you tell them? Do you wreck their day? That would put a damper on your Friday night for sure. Or have the guilt of not telling them and having that loom over your head. But I mean, kids, saving children, yeah. But like, no, just kidding. When you look at the two, only one is causing physical pain to somebody. Because I mean, yes, you're like gonna be in emotional turmoil knowing that Uncle Steve is gonna pass away to a roaming train. That would suck. You can't really do anything about it. I think you guys are right. I think it's gotta be save a group of children. Marry an exact clone of yourself or marry your sister or brother. I don't have a brother. And McCrusty, I would not be able to marry McCrusty for a myriad of reasons. But the biggest being, she's a little fart. Like, I mean, it's gotta be A. Plus, you know what? You just double your production power. You guys are on the same wavelength all the time. Chores are only you have to do half of it. That's kind of clutch. It's a little narcissistic, but I think the poll has it. 8-bit elements, it can be a platonic marriage. Yeah, but the optics. Anybody who's known you and you're like, yeah, this is my brother Fred, also my husband, and they're kind of like, what? You don't have to tell them, but anybody who knows you beforehand, they'll be like, oh. I think marry you, clone yourself, and it looks like people are agreeing, so we'll go with that. Now we're getting some harder ones. Actually, you know what? I don't think this one is as hard as I thought. Find a cure for cancer or find the solution to world peace. It's gotta be world peace, right? I mean, we're already on the up and up with technology and science and things that we're able to do quality of life wise for people who are affected by that. Even in the past couple of years, things have just improved significantly. World peace, I feel like we're going a little bit of the opposite way. Things are not so peaceful. We can maybe let the scientists continue on their trajectory. It'd be great if we could speed up that process, but I think they're doing pretty good as they are. We appreciate their hard work, but world peace, now we can find the solution. It doesn't mean we cause world peace. I'm just a little knucklehead. Nobody's gonna give a crap of what I say if I'm like, no, this is the key. They'll be like, get away from me. Why are you looking and touching my shoes? Get out of here. But I think if we could find the solution, it's gotta be B. Let's see. Oh, that was a close one. Oh God, what a freaking jump scare. Talking about exercise. Run 5 miles every day. How many kilometers is that? Too many, I do believe. Or do 1,000 jumping jacks every day. Now when they say run, I'm kind of leaning toward A. First of all, you're gonna be cardio queen at that point. To make it like all in one shot, like 1,000 jumping jacks, I feel like it is more attainable to do 5 miles every day. And maybe my scale of exercise capability is whack because exercise is for people that are not me. Ooh, Halk's up here flexing. 1,000 jumping jacks isn't that hard. Halks, you and I have different definitions of what is and isn't difficult because I would be dead at maybe 17. We're gonna have to go with chat. We're running 5 miles a day. Easy. And by easy, I mean so freaking hard. Oh my god. Oh my god. Your dog or your best friend. And what if your dog is your best friend? Do you win or do you double lose? I am an animal lover through and through. I have a dog who I love and I often cry because she's 11 years old. Poor Austin has to deal with this. I just sometimes look at her and I'm like, she's got gray hair. Her little legs sometimes hurt. And I just have an emotional time because I'm like, she doesn't know that she's aging and it's confusing for, I'm gonna get upset here. I love my dog. She truly is my best friend. Well, dog best friend. My cat is not my best friend. My cat is my mortal enemy. All of that said, a human is a human. I would be upset either way, but I feel like it would be morally worse to kill a human to a dog. So everybody's saying skip. I'm so sorry. We'll get past that sad one and hopefully this next one will be a little bit more chipper. That's not exactly what I had in mind. Be stuck in a chicken's body your entire life or be stuck in a pig's body your whole life. Aren't pigs really smart? I don't know if a chicken is. A chicken has, I'm sure, their own set of skills. They're great people and they throw wonderful get-togethers. But I think that intelligent-wise, got a littler, tiny little thinking spot. And lifespan too. I feel like a pig's lifespan has to be longer than a chicken, I think. I don't know much about farm animals other than Old MacDonald. Once you are in this animal's vessel, are you still like a human being in that animal? Or are you now just that animal and you're at the whim of an animal's instincts? If you're still a human, like a pig, you could pull Charlotte's Web. You could be sending messages and stuff like that. Nobody's gonna really take a chicken as seriously. The pole is split right down the middle. Northlight says chickens could fly. You could go for a little flutter if you wanted. I like this comment completely out of context. Fluffy Faven just says chicken agility. And that's good. So chicken agility, and with chicken agility, we have to say that you guys are correct. Honestly, I do think that pig's gonna win, but let's find out. Maybe I don't know humans. Randomly time travel plus or minus 20 years every... I didn't read that before I started speaking and that was a curveball at the end I wasn't expecting. Every time you pass gas. Or teleport to a different place on Earth every time you sneeze. Land, not water. Teleport to a different place on Earth, because if you're plus and minusing every time you pass gas, are you stuck in there until you have a bout of wind again? Or is it just like a brief moment of time? If you had a questionable night of Taco Bell or somewhere else that's gonna cause tummy distress, you're going all over the place. I guess the same if you get a feather up your nose if you're sneezing. I feel like you can make yourself sneeze, but I don't know if you can make yourself pass gas. You know how people can burp on command? Like if you were to stick like a feather up your nose, you can make yourself sneeze. So if you were in a bad position, like somebody's mugging you, you're like, hang on, and pull a feather out of your thing and trying to tickle yourself and you're like, what the hell is happening? And then they stab you. B is pulling ahead considerably. I think I agree. Would you rather? Can we chill? Lick the bottom of a worn shoe or eat from a stranger's foot? What does that mean, eat from a stranger's foot? Are they putting it up like a platter and on top of it is a nice beef Wellington and you're taking little nibbles out of it? Or are you taking it like a fork and using the big toe as a prong? Either way, I'm not a situation I would like to be in, but changes things up a little bit. Lick the bottom of a worn shoe. Who's the shoe worn by? Maybe it's an indoor slipper with people who only step on soap. The worn shoe seems to have it. Claudia said, if it's my shoes, then yes, that is a great distinction, because if it is a stranger's shoe, you do not know what type of germs and what type of particles are on the bottom of that. But your shoe, you can kind of have a rough estimate. Like, okay, like I was visiting a chicken farm to figure out if I wanted to live in that body and I stepped in some fecal matter of a bird. And so that is not something I want to look. Or you could be like, oh my God, I just recently actually went through a car wash and went in feet first. So Lion Turtle, I have a question for you. What is wrong with that sentence that you just put? Because I'm wagering everything. They say, can we fry the feet? Lion Turtle, I think you misunderstand. We're not eating feet, we're eating from the feet. I mean, we could. I mean, we probably have the physical capability of frying the foot, but I don't know if the owner of the foot would be very pleased with that. I mean, you know what? Hopefully we're still immune to all the laws so that they can be like, no, it's fine. Fry my feet, I don't care. Lick the bottom of a shoe, boys. Okay, whoa. Be able to bring 3 dead people you loved back to life, or be guaranteed an extra 20 years on all of your current family members' lives. It is what it is. You know, they've already kicked back in the afterlife and they're comfy. Who am I to disturb that? And how are we defining current family? My friends are also my family. I think the ability to wiggle around that definition of family will be a benefit to us. They don't technically say blood family. We could really be thrown out 20 years left, right, and center every time you're like, hey, you know, you're my fam. And then boom, 90 years old. Claudia, I don't care about my relatives that are dead. God Looks like the bees have it. Live through the sinking of the Titanic or live through a kidnapping. When did the Titanic sink? At least 2 years ago. If it's way back when, am I dead now? No, I'm sorry for my ignorance. I apologize. I don't know history. 1912, Foxtrot and Light Wisp. Unless you're really eating your yogurts and getting really good fitness, chances are you're not kicking around anymore. I think live through a kidnapping, because then you're still live through the sinking of the Titanic would be more of a fun party story to be like, you know, your college story is great, but you just wait to hear what I've got. There was a door and there was ice water. It was great. You should have been there. Well, you shouldn't have been there because a lot of people died, but living through a kidnapping, traumatic either way, but I don't want to be 100 plus years old. I think we're gonna go with B, and boom. Wait, did I pick the, yeah, I picked the right one. Whew, I had a, whoa, 50-50. No way. Post every text message you ever sent on the internet, or have tattoos on your forehead depicting everything you did the day before. The tattoos, it's not saying that they appear, so do you have to go out and get them done? Because that would be, ouch. I feel like there would be embarrassment with the text messages, but I think overall, once the initial wave of like, oh my God, has died down, people forget, nobody cares. And they'll be like, oh, that person said that they sneezed and went to Timbuktu. Isn't that funny? But once that's done, I think it's that. So let's see what people think. Oh, wow. Be able to taste any food by just looking at it. Be able to feel anything by looking at it. Are these turn on and offable? Because if any time I look at a food, I have to taste it, that is disgusting. For example, you're watching somebody do a hot pepper challenge. If I'm looking at it and I'm immediately tasting it and I don't get a choice, that is terrible. On the flippity, being able to feel anything by looking at it in the same parameters of not being in control. Because there's certain things I don't want to feel, nails on chalkboard being the top one. Because if we get to decide, I'm picking food, clear as day. You know, you're super hungry. You're like, I could go for a creme brulee right now and just Google it and there it is. I think we're gonna be able to turn it on and off. That's gonna be my ultimate decision for the group. I'm making the executive decision. So it's A for sure, you guys. Yeah, that was very clear. Oh, no, I don't like this one. This is too personal with what's happening in the pancake. Be able to find anything by thinking about it, or be able to date any person you can think of. Come on. I'm picking A. Look at this. Be able to find anything by thinking about it. To do it a throwback. I want to find the meaning of life by thinking about it. Boom. That you found it. I want to become a stronger person by myself. Boom. There it is. I want to find the winning lottery ticket at your fingertips. And it looks like Chad is in agreement. I think I've said that like 8 times, but you know what? I'm going to continue with my happy little self. So A wins. Be publicly embarrassed, but have everyone forget after a year, or have your entire family publicly embarrassed for 2 years. These are hard because it's like, we don't know like what they mean exactly. Like they're in a subway naked and that's why they're getting embarrassed. Well, I mean, you're kind of part of your family, so, well, I mean, that was a stupid sentence. Yes, you are part of your family. Do you get roped into that? Because that's just a sucky one. Being publicly embarrassed, that would suck. I do that on the daily, though, as I'm living my life, so I could live with that. Be able to read anyone's mind or know the exact time you will die. The second one is like a bad thing. Of course you'd want to be able to read anybody's mind. Knowing the exact time you die, that's just a recipe for anxiety. You're like, oh my God, August 17th is coming up and I'm not ready. I feel like that one's a negative one, but maybe you could be like, oh, I can jump off a building because I'm not dying till next Friday. I think reading anybody's mind, you could use that power for evil very easily, but maybe you could use it for good. Somebody looking sad and maybe be able to cheer them up, or on the evil side, be able to manipulate them. I think that's it. And that's the last one, I think. Barely hanging on, so that's wonderful. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you next week. I am but a little mound of dirt and dust piled on my desk saying, please, for the love of God, let me be free.